UK. We're here with Nathan Camarillo, executive producer for Crysis 2. Hey Nathan, how's it going?
Good. It's exciting to be here today. We're almost finished with Crysis 2. We can't wait for everybody to get their hands on it and play it themselves, and we're really looking forward to letting everyone play it in March.
How's the development process been? Because you've got Crytek Frankfurt and Crytek UK. What's the split been on the work?
Yeah, it's really great because Crytek UK is a great studio, and in Frankfurt, there's an awesome group of people working there as well. That's Crytek's headquarters. The multiplayer game is being made in Crytek UK, so it's a very pedigreed studio. They have a lot of guys going back with a lot of multiplayer console experience, and we're really fortunate to have them be a part of the team, and they're making really great nanosuit multiplayer for Crysis 2. In Frankfurt, the core R&D team is there that makes CryEngine 3, as well as the single-player team. So it's a multi-site, multi-studio endeavor, and a lot of it's coming together, and it's just going to be an awesome time for everyone when they play it.
When we talk about the enemies, how they differ from the first game, they're kind of like armored alien types?
Yeah, so in Crysis 2, one of the big things for us was really challenging the nanosuit by making the aliens as mobile as you are and using the space in the same way that you do, so you can anticipate and also learn routes throughout the space. And so we had to make aliens that were intelligent enough to find their way through the environment. And as part of that, they needed to be bipedal as well. They needed to touch the ground and be able to jump off of walls and slide down the side of buildings and get into the combat space. So they challenge you at all points in time, and it really forces you to change your tactics on the fly. We have these areas at the beginning of play spaces where you can kind of plan and catch your breath and maybe go invisible and see every opportunity that's out there. And then from there, when you jump into the action, that plan sort of goes out the window. Because it's very dynamic, but you react, based on how they react to the actions that you've taken. We have nanosuit modules that you can customize in real time, much like your weapon. So with your weapon, you can put different scopes, different grenade launcher, shotgun, whatever, silencer on your weapon. You change these out. We want to take the same approach with the nanosuit in Crysis 2. So you have different modules that you can equip. And one, as an example, might be like air combat, where you can have a vertical height advantage in the play space, and you see an enemy below you, and you jump, and then you just smash the ground and smash them as well, and just land right on top of them, pummel them into the ground. That's something that's not available to you by default. But as a choice, you might be giving up a perk that, or a module that gives you like a little bit more air time, like lets you glide a little bit further to make a longer jump. So you have to make a decision: do I want to smash people or do I want to jump a little bit further? And it's the same single player or multiplayer. The way that you equip these modules and load out your nanosuit essentially changes the way that you can approach the gameplay space, whether it's a 2D sandbox, or not 2D sandbox, a single player sandbox, or a multiplayer map. And the multiplayer map becomes a multiplayer sandbox in that regard, because you have all of the suit mobility that you have in single player with ledge grabs and sliding and shooting, and all these modules, as well as being able to car kick in multiplayer and set booby traps and everything. So it's quite a deep amount of gameplay.
I thought it was really interesting the way you talk about the 3D in the game to avoid eye strain. It's I don't know how you describe it. It's inside the TV like a window rather than popping out at you.
Yeah, we call it a concave 3D experience because it starts at your TV screen and goes into the world, and is a deep 3D experience where we can offer a lot of depth. But we don't throw things out of the TV at you. When you pull things out of the TV, that causes you to focus your eyes closer than what you've been viewing, which is where the TV set is, and then that causes eye strain over time. And if you're playing hours and hours of multiplayer or hours of single player, we want you to be able to play that in 3D and enjoy it without having a headache or eye strain or anything. So we've done a lot of research in this area over the last couple of years and found that by setting it at the TV and then beyond, having your TV be the window into the Crysis world, that you can play for hours and experience 3D, and it's very gratifying, and you just don't get tired from it, and that's awesome.
Okay, Crysis is not traditionally known as an easy game. How are you pitching the difficulty of Crysis 2?
So it's challenging in all regards, depending on what difficulty you choose to try it at. Our hope is, over time, if you start at an easier difficulty, you'll learn the gameplay mechanics and learn how powerful the nanosuit is, and you kind of graduate to higher levels of difficulty. And through things like the attachments and the nanosuit modules, you'll go back and replay with those, and then maybe a harder difficulty is now easier because you have extra tools at your disposal and you've learned more game mechanics and more ways to set booby traps. But if you go to our hardest difficulty level, like Super Soldier, and play against humans, they're going to pose you a significant challenge, and it's a completely different game than when you played it on the easy level. So I think everyone will appreciate it no matter what difficulty level they play at.
Okay, cool. Thanks for talking to us, Nathan.
No
and give us again the platforms and when the game is out, please.
Yeah, it's coming out in March 22nd in North America, March 25th in Europe on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC.